I'm Karin. Welcome to my world. I am talking about regressions and other lives, how we as souls decide what life we want to investigate, what theme we want to work on, and from that we choose our circumstances for a given life. And as I wrapped up just before, I was saying that it's possible to heal a past life or another life, a parallel life, whatever. And in doing so, you can both change what's happening for you in this life. You can also change what's happening for other people around you who may have been involved in the life you just healed. And for that latter one, let me give you an example. Years ago, I was traveling in Portugal with Maria and Bradford Tilden, who will appear in many of my tall tales here because he was a great teacher for me early on. And we were going to visit a castle in Sintra in Portugal, near Lisbon. And the closer we got, the more uncomfortable I felt. And Bradford looked at me and said, "I think you had a past life here." And I said, "I don't want to talk about this. I don't like this place. This is a really bad place for me. I don't want to go here." So, "It'll be good for you." Okay. And we got out of the car, and immediately I stumbled and fell, so that was a good start. And as we paid our tickets, we went off in separate directions. I was walking up the hill, almost in a procession, picking up bit by bit part of the life that I did have there at some point. How I had been married as a very young girl, had been molested, and how being treated that way made me really mean. Not just mean, but evil. In my mind came the image of the Dark Queen of Sintra. I had killed people, I had tortured them, I had poisoned them, I'd done all these things because I had been treated badly early on. And I felt that, okay, I do this to everyone else. And in the end, my destiny as a fairly young woman was to be hunted down by the people around me and beheaded. So that was an experience. While I was working through this, and it was a lot more emotional than this short recount, we had lost Bradford. He had gone off somewhere. When we found him again, he had gone to a small chapel. And what he told me was that there was a soul fragment of mine hidden in the chapel. And he had found it and released it. And at the same time, it matched the timing of me suddenly seeing the image of the Dark Queen of Sintra bathed in light. And it seems that this life of being evil, it's really not something I do in very many lives. But I guess I wanted to try and see what it was like. And it was so, it was such an ordeal for me that I'd actually fragmented part of my soul as I died because it was just too horrible to live like that and treat people like that. And so you can have soul fragments that you leave behind in places, and they can be recollected and freed. This is not something I worked with. I've read about it, and I have this one experience where it happened to me. So Bradford, he found the soul fragment and released it, and I was reunited with it at the same time that the Dark Queen of Sintra turned into a light person. And what really piqued my interest was that as we continued our sightseeing of this place, I was sort of checking in again on that life, and it had changed. Now you can say it's all in my imagination, that's fine, but I have to tell the stories as I know them. But to me, that other life where I had been a princess, a queen at that place, had changed. And when I was looking into that life, when I was tuning into it, what I was seeing now, after being reunited with the soul fragment, was a queen of light. That the experiences that I had early on of rape and abuse had made me into someone who wanted to do better. by people rather than someone who wanted to do the same. And from that visit to the place came a healing. So it was a healing of me personally. But what I felt was that it was also a healing of the people involved, because we all suddenly had a different experience given to us. We actually changed a reality. We converted a reality to something different. So everyone I had abused or killed or tortured was given a different ability, was given a different experience, a different life. And the ones who had helped me, whatever, anyone I've been in touch with in that relatively short life, was given a healing and a different experience. Now, they might not have known this. Maybe they did, maybe they don't. I have no idea. But it goes to show that if you heal another life, it can have an impact on your current life. And it's one of the many ways that I've talked about that I've cleared up issues for me, that I've cleaned my slate. I keep clearing up issues. I keep healing stuff so that I am more balanced and more at peace. And this was one of the experiences. Another experience, which was a really small one, was I can draw fairly well. I can't draw things without look at freehand, but I can replicate things really well. And for some reason, I've never really worked with that, though it was easy for me. Some years ago, I thought maybe I should do that a bit. I took it back. I took it up. I tried again, and it was easy for me. And I thought that might be fun. I can sit and do it in cafes while I drink my coffee. And I have this. Okay, no. I can't have anyone see that I'm drawing. I thought, okay, that's weird. Why? Why can't I see that? Why is it not okay for me to sit in cafes and have people see me draw? Now, when I ask questions like that, to me, it triggers impressions. Either answers from what I call the esoteric database, or some image from a past life, or whatever. And what came to me this time was that I had been an artist. I had been an artist in the Islamic culture when it was really big. Right now, can't even remember the word. But I had been one of the court painters. If any of you come across Persian art, Islamic miniature art, take a look. They're exquisite miniature paintings made in book size, and they're just amazing. I'm absolutely fascinated with them, and I realized why when it turned out that I had memories of having been one of these painters. Now, this was mainly for royalty or for just really wealthy people, and I had the flash that I had a life like that. So that was the first piece, and I thought, okay, so what did it look like? Give me some more details. And I had been an artist with a royalty. I'm thinking now, not India, somewhere in the old, what's Turkey now? Because this kind of thing, I think, oh, is it India? No. Okay, is it that area? Yes. Okay, so that would have been Turkey, 15 something, 1524, I get, but okay, that was the year I was born is the information I get, whatever. So I was a painter, an artist with the court, and I was a male at that time. You can be both. And I was working with in the harem as well, painting pictures of the Sultan's women and wives, and they were not always there by choice, and I fell in love with one of them, and it was mutual. So I had a love affair with the wife of the Sultan, and that's never a really good idea if you want to have a life without trouble. As I said, there's no good or bad experience, it's just experience, and the experience I got from this was I got caught. My leading hand, the one I could draw with, got cut off. and I died as a poor beggar on the street. So that was that life. Now, could I use that for today? I could use it for two things. I'm trying to keep this short because I like to have the talk short. But I healed the life. I cut the thread to it. I took in the information. Now, what happened after that was that it no longer concerned me to draw in public places because I had healed the condition that made it difficult for me to do it. I'd healed the experience that made it hard for me because the way it tied in with being an artist and how it was really shameful for me that I had abused my privilege and that I had to beg for my existence and that I failed and died. That just made the whole drawing thing something of a failure to me and something dangerous that I should not be doing because it could get me in trouble. So I could heal that. What I could also do, and I will get back to that, was I could ask to take the knowledge, the experience, the information I had from that life, and I'm sure several others, as artist, and incorporate it into this 3D body so I could use it and become better at drawing. So through finding out what made me reluctant to draw in public, I was able to no longer be reluctant, and I increased my abilities in the way that I could do it. Coming up with some more examples.